Zoop! Today we're going to be looking at the sweet 360-degree cameras from Reolink. You got the standard Ethernet core for power over Ethernet, and then there's the 12 volt in case you don't have POE, and then you can always use 12 volts. It comes in black or white. Here's a AA battery for size comparison along with the PlayStation 3 controller. Yeah, this thing is pretty small. Inside the package, you get this brackets to mount it onto the ceiling or to the wall. There's some screws as well as some anchors, and then of course the 360-degree camera itself. On the side, there's a slot for micro SD card to record all of your videos to, the reset button. There's a microphone so you can eavesdrop, as well as a speaker, a tiny speaker, so that you can do two-way audio. Right now, I don't have any Reolink NVR inside this house. We'll be actually installing this camera for a client who's opening up a bubble tea house somewhere in Philadelphia. So for testing purposes, I'm just going to use a POE injector. POE injector simply powers up the camera as well as connect it to my network, my home network. So you got one cable going into the camera. This one is both power as well as data. And then this thing is just data going into my network. Now, if you don't have POE injector, that's fine. You can always use 12 volt DC power supply. So the 12 volt DC power supply will go into this plug, and then this cable will be plugged into your network. Mounting it is pretty easy. Here you can see there's 3 screws holding it onto the ceiling. This camera is so light that I didn't even bother using the anchors. Once the bracket is up in the air, go ahead and connect the cable. There will be about 6 inches of cable that you easily tuck into this hole inside the ceiling. Hopefully you have some space, as I did. So once the cable is plugged and tucked in, then you can just insert it into the bracket and then twist it to lock it into position. If for whatever reason that you need to release the camera, then press this button and then twist the camera counterclockwise to release it. Once all is said and done, this is what it will look like when it's installed in the ceiling. Now let's take a look at the software side. First, you'll need the Reolink app. Go ahead and install it. When you first connect it to your network, you'll see that the device is already found, so click on the uninitialized device. Click on the gear icon. There's no password, so go ahead and create your own password. Click on Next. Name it whatever you want. Installation method, you can change this later on. Click on Next, and then click on Finish. So originally I chose the ceiling, and by default it goes to the fisheye mode. You can click on Dual Panoramic View, and of course it's going to be upside down. Let's change it to desktop, because right now it's actually sitting on a table. With Dual Panoramic View, I'm using my finger to see everything in the room. There's absolutely no gap whatsoever. It's pretty amazing how this camera works. Hemispheric View lets you view it as a globe. It feels really weird, this mode, by the way. 2 fingers will let you zoom in and out. Clicking on the speaker icon, you can listen in to what's going on in the room. And by default, the resolution is low, but you can always change it to high for crispier images. If you want to talk, go ahead and click on the microphone icon to start talking. The speaker on the camera itself is pretty small, but you can definitely hear somebody talking through the phone. On the top, there's an icon to trigger an audio alarm. If you click on it, the siren will go off. And again, the speaker is not that big, so you're not going to hear much. You'll definitely hear it, but it's not super loud that the neighbors can't hear it. Let's click on the settings icon. This is pretty much standard with any Reolink settings, so I'm not going to go over it. Once I'm actually on location and I connected the camera to an NVR, this is what it looked like. Strangely, you cannot change any of the mode and you cannot scroll around. You're stuck in this one mode only. There's no way to change it. There's no way to pan around. Nothing. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Hopefully Reolink can fix this with a firmware update or something. But for now, this is all you get if you connect it straight to the back of the NVR. If you don't connect it to the back of the NVR, then you have all of the other options as you saw earlier when we were using the phone app. Alright, hopefully this quick review helps you with understanding how the camera works and using the app. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.